Hi everyone, I'm Miss Karen at Adams Memorial Library. Thank you for joining me for this week's book report. The books I have to share with you this week are all about cooking or baking. And if you've ever seen the Bake-A-Tale videos that I have, you know I like baking, and I've probably already talked about some of these books there too, but I wanted to pull some of my favorites all together and tell you about them all at once. So that's what we'll do this week. The books I have to share with you are Who Put the Cookies in the Cookie Jar? Written by George Shannon and illustrated by Julie Paschkis. Two books that were illustrated and written by Felicita Sala. This one is called What's Cooking at 10 Garden Street. And this one, the sequel, is called What's Cooking in FLOWERVILLE. This one is all different baking recipes. So I'm very excited about this one. It's called Pie for Breakfast, a baking book for children, and it's written and illustrated by Cynthia Cliff. And then this is a fun one about baking with family. It's called Baking Day at Grandma's. What could be better than that? This is written by Anika, Denise, and the illustrations are by her husband, Christopher Denise. And this last one is another one that's done by family. It's done by a daughter and her father. And it's called Kids Cook French, Les enfants cuisinent à la française. The recipes and the words are by Claudine Pépin, and the illustrations are by her father, Jacques Pépin, who is not only an illustrator, but also a famous chef. And so Claudine grew up cooking with her father. And now that she's a grown-up, she cooks with her daughter. So let me tell you a little bit more about these books. Who Put the Cookies in the Cookie Jar is just about thinking, who did put these cookies in the cookie jar? Somebody had to make them. But before that, other people had to do other things so we could make these cookies. Like somebody mixed them and baked them in the oven. But before that, somebody made the baking tray to put them on. Somebody made the oven mitts to get them in and out of the oven. Somebody took care of the cows so there could be milk for the cookies. Somebody grew some wheat, made some butter, made the wheat into flour, took care of the hens to get some eggs. Also, we could have the recipe that's in this book for sugar cookies. It has the butter and the eggs and the milk and the flour and a few other things. But if you do this, then you can be the one. If you make these, you can be the one who puts the cookies in the cookie jar, and you can think of all the people who helped. And I have made these cookies before, and I think they're very good. I really, really, really like these books. Well, the What's Cooking books, because I like cooking, but I also like books about community. And in this one, What's Cooking at 10 Garden Street? This is 10 Garden Street. It's an apartment building, and today, everybody in all the apartments on 10 Garden Street, at the house in 10 Garden Street, so everybody's cooking or baking, making something. And if you were outside 10 Garden Street, you could smell lots of delicious smells coming out, because somebody might be making little broccoli trees, sesame soy broccoli. That sounds yummy. Or, guacamole from avocados. I do like guacamole. That would be yummy too. And here's the recipe for that. Here, Senora Flores is making black bean soup. And here's the recipe for that. You need some black beans, onions, garlic, lime, peppers, some seasonings, all kinds of good stuff. Senora Lila is making her famous spaghetti pomodoro, making some tomato sauce. Got to taste it, see if it's just right. And to go along, some people are even making desserts. Jeremiah here is making peanut butter chocolate chip cookies, which sound delicious. And then why are they all making all these things? You have to check the book out and find out why everybody's cooking at 10 Garden Street. And then What's Cooking in Flowerville, the sequel, it actually starts out with our friends at 10 Garden Street. They're all working together in a garden outside in the backyard. And in this book, it talks about a different recipe that people are making for each month. So it's spring. They have some asparagus growing at 10 Garden Street in April. So they can all make some asparagus quiche to share together. And then in May, somebody else in town can make pea, basil, and mint soup because she's growing peas and she's growing the herbs, the basil and the mint to put in that too. So you can make some yummy soup in May by following this recipe. Oh, these lucky people have their own cherry tree. So in June, they're making cherry clafouti, cherry dessert. And I think that's going to be yummy too. So if you borrow this book from the library, you can try a different recipe for each month. And you too can make good things like they're making in Flowerville. This is Hazel. And Hazel loves to bake with her dad. So they bake things even early in the morning, and every now and then the parents say it's okay to have pie for breakfast if it's fresh pie out of the oven. Once in a while for a treat. It's fun to have something extra sweet for breakfast. And while they're enjoying their pie for breakfast, there it is, maybe strawberry pie or cherry pie, something yummy. Hazel gets another good idea. She thinks maybe at this year's school fair, she and her friends could all bake something and they'll have a bake sale. And then this year at the school fair, they want to raise money for the school library. So anything they sell at the bake sale, the money will go toward the library. So that certainly sounds like a good idea to me. So Hazel helps her friend Amelia make blackberry crumb cake. Other friends are making pear ginger muffins. So they'll have cake, they'll have muffins. Ooh, Camilla's making pumpkin empanadas with her grandmother. So everybody's making something different. And then at the very end, they're all going to bring their things to the school for the fair, and they're going to do their bake sale for the library. So this book I like because it's got lots of different things to bake. There's things that I've never tried before, but I would love to be able to make them. So I'll let you know if I work my way through this book. I'll tell you how things turn out. And if you get this book out and you make some things, you can tell me how they turn out. And I would love to hear it. Now, really, what could be more fun than baking with your grandmother? For these three little cubs, nothing. That's as fun as it gets. So it's baking day at Grandma's, even though it's cold and snowy. No worries. They'll just bundle up and head off to Grandma's house because it's baking day at Grandma's. A little snow's not going to stop them. When they get in, Grandma's house is nice and warm, and maybe she'll even give them some hot chocolate when they get there. So what are they going to bake today? Grandma's looking in her baking books. Oh, she got everybody an apron, so they're ready. What do you think? What could that be? Looks like something a little chocolatey that they're all stirring up. And then there's the wait. Gotta wait while it's baking. And then at the end, Grandma wraps up what they've baked and they get to take it home. Maybe they'll share it with their parents and then say goodbye to Grandma till the next day when they'll come by to bake something else. And did you guess that maybe they were making chocolate cake? They were. That's what they were making. And there's a recipe in here for Grandma Rosie's chocolate cake, which I've also tried and I would also recommend. Very yummy. If you're ever looking for a yummy chocolate cake recipe that you can make with Grandma or whoever else you would like. The really neat thing about this book, I think, besides that it's about a family who's cooking together. Claudine says now she cooks with her husband and her daughter and her father and her mother. She learned cooking from everybody, not just her father, who's a famous chef, but from her mother too. But the thing that I think is really pretty neat about this is that each recipe has the recipe on one side of the book in English and the other side en français, in French. So you can practice your French. You can learn some new French words while you're cooking. And this has all kinds of different recipes that you could have for breakfast or lunch or dinner, a few desserts, all kinds of different things you could try. Salad dressing recipes, main recipes. Oh, they're kind of fancy too. This one says lamb chops with lemon zest and herbs of Provence, or chicken with cream sauce. But Claudine makes the instructions so easy. You'll be able to follow the recipe and you and your family can cook just like French chefs at home. So if you check this book out to the library, there'll be lots and lots and lots of things that you can make. Now, any of these books would be available at the library, so you can come in and check them out, or you can always reserve them. And really, if you make any of the recipes, please let me know if you like them and how they turned out. And thank you very much for joining me, and I will see you next week for when we'll talk about some more books for the book report. So thank you, friends. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.